Mandalore's helmet, lost after our defeat at Revan's hands. Assemble the rest of your clan. You will return to Duxon. We must come together as we were before and prepare to fight a new war. A war that will return us to glory.
And if I take that helmet from you, guess that makes me the new Mandalore. I've always wanted to be called that. I know all about your exploits, Mandalore. We have fallen far in the past years, but even still, I will not stand idly while a usurper claims to be my leader.
It is unfortunate that you feel that way. Perhaps I'll be able to change your mind. Stay out of this. This is my fight. Desire to spill any more Mandalorian blood today. Gather your clan and return to Duxon. You have seen the last of your mercenary days.
Yes, Mandalore.
Gather the clans together, so I feel I owe it to you to tell you the whole truth about my mission and Revan. After defeating Malak, Revan made the decision that he would travel to the unknown regions. He was searching for something. I wanted to go with him. I respected him. Knew he could use me where he was going, but Revan refused, saying that he must travel alone. Before he departed, he left me with a simple mission. He told me where I could find the Mandalore's helmet, and that I must take it and reassemble the clans. When I asked him why, he told me nothing, only that I should wait for him to return and be ready for it. Revan never said what he was looking for, or what to be ready for. I don't know if I'll ever know. I thought that Revan was a singular Jedi, but now there's you. With all our martial training, battles, and ethics, even our greatest warriors are no match for you. But I also have faith in my people. Should we need the clans to fight the Sith, we will. And afterward, Revan will still have his army. Yeah, what do you want? The Republic... Open.
I didn't want to talk about the war, but can I ask you something? Why did you decide to fight? I felt the same way. I remembered when word of the Mandalorian attacks arrived on Iridonia. My people had colonies across the Outer Rim. Many of them were among the first systems to fall. I did not join because I wanted to protect, though. I hated them. I wanted to destroy them, to give them the mercy they gave the people they conquered. I remember the thrill I felt when we fought them in battle. Victories were rare, but we celebrated every Mandalorian's death. Do you know how it felt? I couldn't do that. It was almost as though the battle took control of me, drove me forward. It's always on my mind now. That loss of control blinded me, turned me into a weapon. I just needed to get that off my chest. Was there something you wanted me for? You know, I'm glad I found you again, General. We were together at Malachor. I don't know if anyone else could understand. Getting philosophical on me? I'm here because you found me on Telos and I decided to come along for the ride. Not that I had much choice after we got going. Tired of me already? I was frustrated. Watching the Ithorians getting pushed around by Zerka, I thought I could make a difference, but it was taken away from me. Guess if one planet was good enough for me, why not the galaxy? You just have to know what the circuits look like. That's the way I see things. Traveling with you, I know there's something else in the universe, but I can't do anything about it anyways, so I'll leave it to you to take care of. Was there something you wanted me for? Sorry, General. Something.
Yeah, something wrong? Talk. About what? Why, you trying to be my mother? No thanks. Already had one. Somewhere. No thanks. I didn't need friends on Nar Shaddaa, and I don't need them now. Alright. Yeah, more or less. I wasn't born there, I just ended up there. Well, the war happened. The first one, against the Mandalorians. Had family right up until the end. It's not really a new story, you hear it all over the galaxy. It's what happens after the wars are over that you don't hear much about. I think so. After Revan crushed the Mandalorians, planets throughout the Republic were flooded with refugees. I was just one of the others. Me? I got passage to Nar Shaddaa. From there, not much you can do, so I became a bounty hunter. Take a guess, Jedi. Only 2 groups of people would have lost family at Malachor. And Jedi don't have families. As much as any slave becomes a Mandalorian. They took prisoners on every world they conquered to bolster their ranks. And they took a lot of worlds. When I was young, yeah. They mostly used me to carry ammo packs and munitions. Toward the end of the war, they needed everyone they could get. They taught me to fight, to hunt, to survive. I was part of their squad, even when I was young. Everyone served as part of the unit, and I felt like I had a place there. After Malachor, it really didn't matter anymore. Mandalorians lost. Bad. But you know that. Yeah, I know. I saw the worlds they left behind them during the war. That kind of stays with you, I haven't forgotten it. What happened at Malachor, they probably deserved it. Should I be? Maybe I should ask you if you're happy about all the Jedi who died on Malachor 5. Maybe it felt like you lost family there, but I doubt it. Yeah. Go ahead and ask. I'm good at finding people, so I used it to make credits. Not if you know your target. Usually you get a hollow or rough description, and then you just sort of listen to it, get a feel for him or her, and start walking. And this is a little hard to explain, but Nar Shaddaa's got a flow, a life to it. You see all kinds of aliens and life there, and it's got currents. You know your target, you can feel them. You know where they're going to go. And sometimes, you know where they're going to be before they do. I'm good at finding people. Because when they're lost or out of place, it's like something's wrong inside them. And that's why I hunt. Oh, do I? Is that it? How you could ever possibly hope to understand is beyond me. Jedi don't have family. I know what happened at Malachor 5, and I know the Jedi didn't care about life there. Get away from me. The next time you come and ask me a question... What do you want now? Whatever, don't worry about it. It's just a sore subject with me. Yeah, well, they're dead. That's how that story ends. But not everybody's story has to end with losing their family or their loved ones. And not all the bounty hunting I do is for criminals or killers. There's a lot of lost people out there, scattered ever since the Mandalorian Wars. And sometimes, it's like you can almost hear them. Like an echo, calling out for each other. And maybe, just maybe by finding them, I can start putting the galaxy back together. Maybe. We'll see. I don't even know why I'm telling you this. But you're not getting anything else out of me. Shoot. I didn't kill him once. Biggest mistake ever. Do you really want to hear this? Well, Hanhar and me go way back, in the worst possible way. He's from some forest planet on the Outer Rim where Zerka had set up one of their slaving operations. I don't remember the name. Something with too many K's and Y's. Sounds like you're gargling Ronto spit when you say it. No idea. He's just... Hanhar. I hope there aren't any more like him. I get the impression he's not a good representative of his people, though. He's the equivalent of a mad calf hound among Rontos. Some of Voga the Hutt's men said Hanhar killed his own tribe, but those two crud thugs lie every time they open their mouths, so who knows? Well, not for long. Once off-planet, Hanhar escaped from the Zerka slavers, then killed them all. Well, before you get too proud of him, Hanhar figured Zerka had the right idea. I don't think he understood the concept of slavery before, at least on the scale that Zerka practiced it. But now he did. You ever hear of Dursan 3, or the ID cluster colonies? Right, that's because Hanhar happened. He makes what happened to his homeworld look like an exercise in community building. He's not a bounty hunter. He's a slaver. A predator. It's like he's out to enslave or kill every human in the galaxy, like he's trying to settle some huge score or debt. I don't get it, but he's dangerous. I was prey. And not only did I escape, but I saved his life while doing it. He's been hunting me ever since. I don't pretend to understand it, but among his people, they have these codes of honor. But somewhere along the line, Hanhar's got twisted. His people form these things called life debts. If you save the life of one of them, they pledge themselves to you. Well, with Hanhar, he can't escape that life debt. It's bred into him. But he hates every other living thing in the galaxy, so pledging himself to someone else, especially a human, was unbearable. So when I saved his life, it was the worst thing I could do. It was like slavery all over again. But it was in his head. It was like it pushed him over the edge. A life debt to Hanhar is a death sentence. He'll hunt you until you're dead. When I saved his life, it meant he had to kill me. And so he kept chasing me in hopes I would die. I think the fact I showed him mercy after hating humans for so long, that was something he couldn't stand. Probably. But if he had multiple life debts, especially to humans, Hanhar would probably go mad. He was angry before, sure, but he'd be 10 times worse if that happened. Hanhar's tough. Really tough. And when he loses it, it's like nothing can stop him. I've seen him shrug off blaster bolts, boffs, and stunners, and even survive a freighter crash on Dursan 3. He keeps coming. Oh, I'm glad he's gone. It's like a weight off my shoulders. I don't have to keep watching my back every minute, wondering when he's gonna show up. And he always did. It's like he always knew where I was. Trust me, if he was still alive, He'd be chasing us even now, waiting to ambush us when we least expect it. And he always shows up at the worst possible time. He was one of the best bounty hunters on Nar Shaddaa. Hanhar never gives up on his prey. Or his life debts. He's a hunter. He's a natural predator. Well, as happens on Nar Shaddaa, I made someone mad. Mad enough for them to send Hanhar after me. Turns out they were even able to get him cheap. He'd heard about me and wanted to hunt me down, for sport. He didn't think I'd be much of a challenge. Well, he tried to box me down in vents beneath the Nar Shaddaa docks, and he'd set one too many proximity mines to cover the escape routes. I think he'd hoped to drive me into the mines and then let them do the work. Or that I'd be too scared to try and walk through them. Thing is, I knew Hanhar's supplier, and the trigger signatures for the mines. It was pretty easy to broadcast a signal to blind their sensor receptors for a minute or two. I figured that would buy me enough time to move through them and get away. Like I said, I disarmed the trigger fuses for enough of the mines to get by, temporarily. And Hanhar was pretty fast on my trail. I just made it to safety when he hit the first one. The blast leveled the entire ventilation section, and Hanhar was caught right in the middle, and he survived. Barely. He was crawling around, blinded from the flash and the plasma burns. And it happened so fast. All the blood had been scabbed and crusted from the flash. I had the drop on him, and even blind, he knew it. He could still hear me. My ears were ringing from the blast, but I could hear him. I think he was begging me to let him live. His voice, it wasn't a roar, more like an echo of it. I suppose I should have killed him, but I couldn't do it. He was in pain, he was helpless. So I dragged him out of there enough to get him to safety, and he kept hunting me ever since. He said he'd pursue me to the edge of the galaxy. No matter where I ran, he would find me and break me, that I would always be prey. Maybe. I've thought about that moment a lot. Wondered if I would do things differently if I had another chance. All right. I've killed people before, but not if I don't have to. I know, it's different. I don't know why. I don't know. I haven't killed anyone for a long time. But when I'm around you, suddenly it's like I've always been doing it. It's like a reflex. I don't like it. And I don't know when or why it became so easy. Go ahead. Yeah, more. Well, the war, it's what happened. Think so. Me? Take a guess. As much... I don't know, it didn't matter. I was too young to remember, really. Besides, Nar Shaddaa's kind of grown on me. It's as much my home as any place else. What they tell after... Should I be? Maybe. Shoot. Talk. Sure, that's what... It's the... Call it. Alright. Talk. Why, you trying to... No thanks.
Yes, General? I dreamt of Malachor. I remember the ships, the last stand of the Republic. The tattered remnants of our fleet, the largest we could gather. But it was damaged, weakened, and vulnerable. The Mandalorians couldn't resist. They tore into us like beasts, shredding our ships to scrap as we fought back. Yet this time there were no reinforcements for either side. Revan had been delayed out-system by Mandalorian scout ships. By the time he arrived, it was too late. And beyond Malachor, there were no more Mandalorians left to die. I remember standing on the bridge with you and watching the destruction. I remember the look you had when you turned to me. It was the longest you'd ever looked at me. You didn't say anything, just a nod. Events moved quickly then, even in my dreams. Flashes, explosions, you falling. I could feel the pain around me. And then the memory. The drifting hulks of the Mandalorian ships, the dead, allies, friends, strangers. And then the echo, lingering, the sound I awakened to in my nightmares. Blame lies with me for creating it. The situation forced your hand. Anger forced mine. You realized that unless action was taken, the fleet would be destroyed and the Republic would fall. None of us realized the magnitude of what we unleashed.
I hear that you were the one responsible for our defeat at Malachor V.
The General told you that?
We fell into your trap at Malachor and we paid the price. We were eager to destroy the Republic fleet and defeat Revan, so we committed all of our forces to Malachor, sealing our doom. Even then, we might have won the day. The tide of battle was turning when the Republic finally set off their trap. We were almost completely destroyed. You should be proud.
I destroyed your people.
It is as much your triumph as our failure. We learned a lesson and we paid the price for our mistake. I hold no grudge against you for what you did. It is the Mandalorian way to respect strength, and we will not be so foolish ever again.
Having you here has an effect on me, General. I never noticed it years ago. I think my mind was too occupied then. I feel calm, more in control. The anger is still there, but I can feel it drifting away. The last years of my life have been defined by it. The Mandalorians, Zerka, and Revan. And above all else, myself, for Malachor. Never, General. It had to be done. My hands destroyed the Mandalorians. I cannot be forgiven for that. Even if I did it out of hatred of the Mandalorians? That might be the truth, but I don't want to see it that way. I can't just ignore the blood on my hands. Even if there isn't, I still feel like I need to do something to make up for it. Under your guidance, I feel like I could overcome my anger. Yes, Yes, General? Don't worry, I'm a quick learner. Thank you, Yes, if you think they'll help. You know, yes, don't worry, I'm a quick learner. Thank you, Yes, don't worry. Thank you. Yes, if you think. You know, yes, if you think. You know, yes, if you think. You know, yes.
I heard you making friends with the bounty hunter. I don't blame you. She's a scrapper. You don't survive on Nar Shaddaa for very long if you aren't. I've known people like her, maybe without the rocket launchers, but sort of the same. Maybe without the plunging neckline and the boots. I wouldn't let anything she says bother you. It's a wonder you cracked her attitude at all. She's cold as the ship's hull. All right.
Yes, General? Yeah?
I used to serve in the Mandalorian Wars. Then the Jedi Civil War crushed the Republic.
Yeah, something wrong? Go ahead and ask. Feels better to be back here, not cooped up on that ship. Well, Nar Shaddaa may be one of the biggest cesspits in the galaxy, but it's got a life to it. Activity. Aliens, people, refugees. It's like noise, but relaxing. Like the hum of a hyperdrive. Yeah, well, I wouldn't go that far. I'll believe it when I see it. All right, prove it. You can show me now if you want. All right, but I doubt you're gonna show me anything I don't already know. And when you show me, don't act like a tourist. It attracts predators. What's wrong? Why are you stopping?
Feel the currents here on Nar Shaddaa, the ebb of life. A simple kindness can be given to another. This is the Force, and all our choices, from the greatest to the smallest, affect each other, and the echoes travel.
I can feel this planet. I can't shut it out. It's louder now, it hurts. All these people. That's what I want. I'm sure of it more than anything. I want to become like you. I want to be strong. I don't want to be afraid or alone anymore. I don't want to keep running and looking and never feel like I'm finding what I'm looking for. I am tired of being hunted. When the galaxy takes something from me, I want the power to let go. And I want the power to heal the echo when it's gone. That sounds all right, from where I'm standing. Let's move out. I wanted to say thanks for what you showed me on Nar Shaddaa. It's gonna take some time to let it sink in, but thanks. I feel alive. It's strange, but it feels right somehow, like a piece inside me just clicked into place. Talk? About what? Why, you trying to be my... No thanks. Shoot. Feels better to be...
Yes, General? Yes, General?
Yeah, something wrong? This better not be any of that boring meditation stuff. That puts me to sleep. Got it. Yeah, yeah. Well, all I need is my rocket launcher and some rockets. I'll ignore that little crack next time you need some covering fire. Alright, I think I have it. Yeah, something. Yeah. Alright, I think I have it. Yeah. Yeah. Alright. Yeah, something wrong? Yeah. I'll ignore that little crap. Alright. Yeah, this better not be it. Got it. Yeah, something. This better not be it. Got it. Yeah, something. Yeah. Alright. Yeah, something. Yeah. Alright. Yeah, something. Talk. Sure, that's what. Alright. It's all this traveling. I'd rather be doing something. Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah, more or less. Yes? You...
We must go to Dantu. I have...
My life for yours. I will answer what I can. If you wish to know, perhaps it is possible to show another what my people see. What I see. First, you must close your eyes. The surface of the ship, its sights, will only be a distraction. Now, in your mind, reach out. Listen for my breathing. Do not focus on the sound, but the life behind it. Imagine it's there. It is not as difficult as I thought. You learn quickly. It will take effort to maintain such sight, but you now have that power, and with it you can use it to see life around you in a different way, as I used to see it. I will
You know, I noticed a glow before, but now it's bright around you. You've come a long way since Paragus, and despite all we've been through, you seem a lot better for it. It shows. It's kind of inspiring, to be honest. Anyway, just wanted to mention it. I think the others have noticed it too. All right.
Yes. Is there something you wish to do for me? I am willing to indulge some of your questions. A common Revan. I believe that by whatever means he used to build his armada, he recognized that it was somehow a limited source, or that he was only willing to use it to a point. My prediction is that whatever production facility was being employed, it carried a price that Revan perceived as detrimental to the goals of the Sith. And that is why Revan left many military production facilities in the Republic intact. You may speak. Now, that would be telling. For now, my presence must remain a secret, and it may remain that way forever. I am willing to indulge some of your questions. It has been assigned to guard, and it is for the moment. This it's in it.
Yeah, what do you want?
Yes? Is something wrong? That is hard. A force... No. I do not... It is... Thoughts.
Statement. HK-47 is ready to serve, Master. Statement. Something approaching cautionary. Answer. I do not know, Master. I feel strange. Like a circuit has been flipped. Answer. Combat ready? Did you mean in case we need to run away or retreat? Oh my, I'm afraid I'm ill-equipped for combat. Surely Master is joking with his humble, peace-loving droid. I exist only to serve, and learn how to serve meatbags. Musing. I think perhaps I would enjoy learning a new language, or watching an informative holovid. Statement. I am fulfilling my primary function, which is to facilitate communication between species and put an end to hostilities. Greeting. Oh, hello, little T3 unit. I am HK-47, Protocol and Translation Droid. Answer. Of course I am all right. Why wouldn't I be? I respect all life. All life is connected and should be nurtured. Exclamation. No! Master, no! What are you doing? Statement. Master, please, I beg you, never install anything again without checking it in the diagnostics bay first. That was a close one. I almost surrendered completely to peace and pacifism. How repugnant. Conclusion. Still, there was a brief moment where I felt I almost understood why some meatbags choose peace and friendship over a high-powered blaster carbine. Query. Now, there any other horrors you wish to try and insert in my system, or is your electronic butchery done? Statement. Master, that is a question that has an extremely complicated answer. You see, I do not believe my master knew who he was most of the time, which led to some confusing situations that could have otherwise been avoided. Clarification. Suffice to say that my master had his ups and downs, and in my opinion, traveled from a high point in his life to a low point. He developed qualities such as mercy, compassion, and even love for others. It was really rather revolting. Still, my master had some remarkably efficient droid-like qualities which I admired. He, too, suffered memory problems, as I did. Statement. Oh, yes, Master. As indicated upon my reassembly, my central control cluster is damaged, making recalling my previously stored assassination protocols difficult. I hope that over time I shall eventually reach the status and skill I possessed before I was damaged. Recollection. The last thing I remember is having my core wiped from the last 5 years. I believe my master was responsible. Answer. Even with my memory impairment, I recall that my master was about to embark on a dangerous journey. Conjecture. I believe there was something about my master's destination that he did not wish me to know. Answer. I am somewhat disappointed that my master did not choose to take me along, of course. Wherever my master traveled, destruction and death were assured. Speculation, but I suspect I was not the only one left behind. So there is some satisfaction that the disrespect was spread through the rest of his whiny, simpering meatbag allies. Statement. Oh, yes. My master had quite the collection of tortured individuals that seemed unable to confront their basic personality conflicts. Let me cite some specific examples. Mockery.
Oh, Master! I do not trust you! I cannot trust you or anyone ever again!
Mockery.
Oh, Master, I love you, but I hate all you stand for. But I think we should go press our slimy, mucus-covered lips together in the cargo hold.
Conclusion. Such pheromone-driven human responses never cease to decrease the charge in my capacitors, and make me wish I could press a blaster pistol to my behavior core and pull the trigger. I am pleased that this does not seem to be the case with your current entourage. Statement. Yes, well, enough of that painful stroll through what remains of my memories. Was there something else you wish to know? Statement. Answer. Why? Because your actions... Statement. Sometimes, Master, it is difficult for meatbags to step back and gain some perspective on death and its importance in their insignificant lives. Explanation. You see, Master, assassination is such a versatile tool. I have seen the removal of a single target have far-reaching consequences for a nation, world, even a galaxy. The repercussions of even the smallest lives, whether dead or alive, can have profound implications on history. But surely you realize this. Statement. Master, please, any comparisons between me and your meatbag status leaves a fluctuating, intermittent charge through my control clusters. I was only trying to bring death and its impact to your attention. Statement. Statement. Master, before you go, I had a question for you. Query. I must express some degree of confusion concerning your actions. You are the one who followed Revan in the Mandalorian Wars, are you not? Observation. Well, Master, I was not at Malachor 5 during your near-genocidal reaction to the Mandalorian threat, but I feel that I may have been constructed as a result of that. Observation. I believe that Revan determined that mass slaughter on such a scale may no longer be needed to achieve his aims. So perhaps you are responsible for my creation. Answer. Oh, please, Master. Even as a metaphor, that idea is repugnant. You are a gland-driven meatbag, while I am of superior droid construction. Clarification. I meant that I was built as a result of the need for a selective killing machine, rather than a crude mass slaughter war droid. Answer. No, Master. I was constructed shortly after the beginning of the Jedi Civil War. Answer. Oh, Master, please use your imagination. I am an illegally constructed assassination droid designed to masquerade as a protocol droid until I reach my target. Answer. Well, Master, unless you were operating on my central control cluster, I would be somewhat hesitant to discuss my targets, but I suppose it could do no harm. During the Jedi Civil War, I was responsible for certain strategic targets. For some reason, Revan did not feel that the Republic presented much of a military threat. Aside, I am somewhat unclear as to why this was so, but Revan did have a certain biological instinct regarding such things, so I will simply say that there were probably reasons for such an assessment. Answer. Revan felt the true war was against the Jedi. Observation. It was not something discussed with much of the others, but I think Revan recognized that a single Jedi, both in the past and in the present, could turn the tide of a conflict. So my targets were frequently Jedi, or someone close to a Jedi that could result in their corruption or collapse. Revan often assigned me to kill leaders or supporters of certain Jedi so as to erode their will. Answer. Revan saw the pressures of war on Duxon and knew that even in the heat of conflict, Jedi could be broken, not physically, but psychologically. Observation. It is a curious thing to assassinate and wound someone's personality, to assassinate them psychologically, and it took me some time to reconcile the acts. I am much more used to the direct approach. Still, I served well and killed many Jedi. Observation. Master, that was the lesson of Malachor. Any Jedi involved in the systematic slaughter on such a scale cannot help but doubt and question themselves. Observation. Master, I do not believe that the Mandalorians were the true target at Malachor. I believe that the intention was to destroy the Jedi, break their will, and make them loyal to Revan. I do not know if you examined the records of the deaths on Malachor, but you cannot escape that many of the Jedi and Republic soldiers who died were not Revan's strongest supporters. Observation. I believe that Revan was cleaning house at Malachor 5. What ones did not die became Revan's allies against the Republic. Request. First, Master, I would appreciate it if Jedi need to be killed, that you permit me to kill those annoying pseudo-pacifists for you. But if you are determined to do it yourself, then there are many techniques I would suggest. Recitation. First, weapon selection is critical. If I see one more idiot attacking a Jedi with a blaster pistol, then I'll kill them myself. Answer. Select grenades, sonic screamers, cluster rockets, and plasma charges. Mines are also effective, since many Jedi will run to meet you in hand-to-hand combat. Silly Jedi. Addendum. Gas attacks are effective if you can take the Jedi by surprise. Inhalation is less effective than ones that work on skin contact, as some Jedi seem to be able to hold their breath for long periods of time. Cautionary. Still, don't rely on it, since Jedi can fight off the effects. It just distracts them, leaving them open to another avenue of attack. Recitation. Do not forget to activate any energy shields you possess. Lightsabers, while powerful, have trouble penetrating most military-issue energy shields, provided they are energy shields and not those crude Mandalorian melee shields. Answer. Countering their other powers is more difficult. Confession. I do not fully understand their other abilities, but I do know that many of them require that the Jedi know that you are there and can see you. Thus, sniping and using cover are always advantageous. Evaluation. A technique that Revan used frequently was to attack a Jedi indirectly. This method only works if the Jedi is adhering to the self-destructive path of pacifism and sacrifice. Answer. Kill their allies or place them in jeopardy. Many Jedi will leave themselves exposed in order to protect another. That is why there are many less Jedi than there were a decade ago. Cautionary. Oh no, Master. In fact, that is the worst thing you can do. Explanation. Statistically, over-planning the assassination of a Jedi seems to backfire. Extrapolation. There are many theorists who claim Jedi can see the future, and I do not know if that is true, but it seems impulsive acts are more common to succeed than planned incidents. Jedi, like sandkivers, seem to sense trouble a few seconds before it happens. They are tricky little pests. Answer. No, Master. In addition to traps, mines, and orbital bombardment, Revan and the Sith often employed meatbag assassins for some Jedi skilled in the same techniques that I was trained in. Strangely enough, Revan believed that meatbags that did not use or believe in the Force were especially important, since in many respects, they were more difficult for Jedi to detect. Revan had many of them trained to hide their minds, as it were. Again, once these techniques were learned, the percentage of living Jedi began to decrease accordingly. Answer. Generally, this was done by broadcasting strong emotions while thinking about something else. It was a curious technique, but it seemed to be effective in blinding Jedi. Whether guilt, lust, fear, they act as mental interference, making finding the true intentions of the broadcasting meatbag difficult. Answer. Obviously, a Force-sensitive broadcasting such emotions puts themselves at a risk of not using the Force properly, since to use it seems to require an inner calm that most meatbags do not possess. As much as the Jedi could not use such a technique, the Sith Lords cannot use it for much the same reasons. Such passions as guilt, lust, and fear are really strengths to the Sith code. Statement. The Master felt it was ironic that only people who had experienced such passions could harm Jedi in such a way that to kill Jedi, you had to be a human being. Revan found that quite amusing. Answer. The odds of me being forced to use such techniques against you has decreased, Master. There are some methods I could describe if you wish. Statement. Overwhelming odds is also a good tactic, Master. There are few Jedi that can long hold their ground against 100 attackers all firing at once, or being turned on by their own troops. But the most effective weapon against Jedi seems to be the erosion of the spirit. Answer. Revan claimed that psychological warfare against Jedi was important because much of their power comes from their state of mind, their connection to this religion called the Force. Revan said that many Jedi have the capability to form connections to life around them, although few of them realize the extent to which this is possible. Recollection. I believe my master speculated that many Jedi did not fully form such connections because of their discipline, because they never opened their lives to the passions around them. I believe Revan termed it that one would need to be a human being to develop such connections. It is something that the Jedi Code could not teach. One simply knew it instinctively or not. Observation. Master, I am somewhat surprised that I need to explain this to you at all, considering your past with Revan. Answer. Why, he said you had such capability, Master, but it would be your downfall. To tie so much of yourself into others, if they suffer or die, then you would die as well. Observation. I think Revan pitied you, Master. It was very insulting, if I may say so. Clarification. Whatever it is called, Master, it seems to be quite a vulnerability. Revan even admitted as such. When a Jedi or any soldier suffers doubt, it weakens them. With the Jedi, however, it is more pronounced, since they are extreme examples. That is why Revan felt that Malachor V was so important. It was intended to be a conversion tool. Assessment. When faced with a continuous series of hard-fought battles, I detected a significant statistical increase in Jedi following Revan over the Jedi Code, a compromise in principles brought about by battlefield conditions. The emotional weight of war changed Jedi morale, power, and eventually their allegiance. Conclusion. I believe the Mandalorian Wars were to beat the Mandalorians, and also to allow Revan to build the foundation of his army. But I am surprised you have not already arrived at this conclusion. Surely the loss of your troops and the Jedi who served under you at Malachor V had a detrimental effect upon you and your ties to the Force, and I suspect your desire to be around others ever again. Answer. Master, when conventional weapons will not work, then one must resort to other means of assassination. When Jedi, or Sith, or whatever they call themselves, cannot be defeated with weapons, then use doubt. Evaluation. It sounds as if this Sith Lord is somehow able to keep fighting, no doubt by drawing on his connection to the Force to keep him alive, even after suffering grievous harm. It may be whatever pain he experienced in the past was so great that the technique he used to recover from it and sustain himself also gives him an incredibly high pain threshold. Answer. Well, Master, you have heard of Jedi healing techniques. That is certainly possible. The Sith may have their equivalent, although it seems known only to this particular Sith Lord. I know many Jedi and Sith have exhibited strange behavior in near-death situations. This may be another example. Clarification. Not impossible, Master, but judging from the description, it may be improbable. Observation. It does seem unlikely, Master, but I have observed that you, allies included, seem to be able to recover from the most grievous injuries, and quickly as well. Perhaps it is not as uncommon as one would think. Besides, it really doesn't matter what you believe. Clarification. Master, I spoke literally. It doesn't matter what you believe, it matters what this Sith Lord believes. If his strength comes from his connection to the Force, then you must undermine that connection, Master. Answer. Doubt, Master. It has killed many Jedi, and it has killed many Sith. Make him doubt himself, his beliefs, or his intentions. Such things disrupt connections to the Force, and death soon follows. The only question is what belief or intention he holds dear that would make an effective target. Answer. Oh, Master, I have no idea. That does present something of a problem. If you should encounter the target in the future, I would bait him into talking and see what you can draw from him that you can use against him. Observation. Master. Statement. Yes, Master. I must confess, I enjoy it when you are so authoritative and dismissive toward me. It bodes well for your treatment of our enemies.
Yeah, something wrong? Yeah. Alright, yeah, something wrong?
Yes, General? If you think they'll help. It'll take...
Yes? You may...